Thank you for the kind words and accolades, Maria. It's almost like I wrote that myself. Anyways, before I even get started, I want to thank Maria and Jenna for making us a part of the first ever comedy night here at Aridus. Right? Very cool. You guys having fun? Yeah. Very awesome. You know, when we were putting together the lineup for tonight, I wanted to kind of bring in a different group, get some different perspectives, right? So, brought in Jimmy, 1, glorious beard. 2, he checks the special needs box. You guys knew that already, obviously, and we knew bare minimum we're going to get some sympathy laughs out of you, right? And it worked. You guys did your job, so thank you for that. We brought in Kabari because we needed someone with talent, obviously. Because I am obviously the eye candy of the group. You're welcome. Especially you guys up front. You're welcome. Strap in. You know, it's kind of funny because normally when we do this, we're up on a stage, the crowd's kind of down here, there's stage lights in our face, and we can't really see the group well. So you guys are kind of just right here tonight, huh? A little bit different, but I like it. I get to see everybody's reaction, which is cool. I fell in love with comedy the first time I made a kid spit milk out his nose. I've been in love with comedy ever since. Wine's hard to get out of your clothes, so be careful. I saw Kabari almost get a couple of you guys earlier, and that's going to be a pain in the ass, so be careful. But to celebrate the first comedy night at Aridus, I want to do something a little bit different. I thought it would be cool if you guys had kind of a vote in what I do to wrap up the show, right? So, do you guys want to hear PG stuff, or do you want to hear R stuff? R stuff, are you sure? I don't have a PG fucking set. That was a test. You guys passed, you can stay. We're gonna keep the show going, you guys. Might as well open some more wine. So, speaking of drinking, you ever notice how every group of friends has that one person who drives the party energy for the group? You know what I mean? They're always the one to go harder when you get together too. You'll be like, we should get a bottle of wine. They're like, we should get a case of tequila. You're like, it is fucking Tuesday afternoon, bro. God damn. And if you don't know who that person is in your group, it's you, and that's okay. That's right. I have no shame in it. Like, I've been that guy when I was younger for sure. Maybe last night. Don't judge me. But I've got a buddy who serves that role for me still, and I can call him anytime, and he's always down to party, which is cool. The problem is, if I ever want to go a little harder, he goes completely over the top, you know? I called him a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, hey man, I got tickets to a Pink Floyd cover band. It's supposed to be really cool. Laser show, lights, the whole thing. Why don't we eat some gummies and go check it out? He gets way too excited. He's just like, hell yes, we're dropping LSD in our dick holes. I was like, whoa, dude, whoa. Slow down, you maniac. Jesus Christ. Like, what would happen if I ever brought, if I was like, hey man, let's go do some shrooms. This guy would show up with fentanyl suppositories and a blowgun. 2 drinks into my night, he's like, spread those cheeks, bro. I had to cut him out of my life. I don't even party with him anymore. It was making my ass hurt. I've slowed down a bit. I'm in my 50s now. I don't party as much. I pick and choose my spots, But there's some good things about slowing down a little, I think. I no longer feel the need to get involved in every altercation that happens when I'm out. I think that's a good thing. When I was young and dumb, like if there's a problem around me, some shenanigans, if you will, like I was gonna poke my nose in, you know what I mean? What the fuck's going on over here? Now, my wife could walk right up to me and be like, that guy's being an asshole, and I'd be like, well, what did you do? You've been kind of shitty to me all day today. Like maybe he's just picking up on some of that energy, Sometimes you gotta look in the mirror, hon. But I'm just finding I don't care much about having like a tough guy image anymore, Hell, I started getting pedicures, right? And that's probably not a big deal to you guys. However, I'm from Cleveland. And in Cleveland, you don't do anything nice for yourself, outside of the antidepressants. In Cleveland, you sit in a dive bar with your Carhartt jacket, your trucker hat, your work boots, and you drink cheap whiskey and bitch about life like a man. I know I did 40 years there, right? Let out about 12 years ago for good behavior. When you're from Cleveland, you talk about it like it's prison. There are similarities. But I've got friends who have lived in Cleveland their whole lives, and I can promise you, not one of them ever thought about getting a pedicure. Not one! Hell, the women in Cleveland aren't getting pedicures. They're stomping around town with their gargoyle feet, fucking up your sheets, just shredding your sheets. I'll wait on that one if you want. That one might take a second, a little time delay. You know what I'm talking about. Speaking of the bedroom, I don't think we've thought Viagra all the way through, you guys. Like, it may seem like a good idea depending on how old you are, but like, do we really want to be having sex in our 80s? An 80-year-old body looks like a melted candle. Like, gravity just dominates your body when you get older, you know what I mean? I guess the good news is, guys, we don't have to fiddle with bras anymore. At 80, you're taking her tits out of her socks. And ladies, I'm not just picking on you. Like, I know you're gonna step on our nuts because they fell off the bed onto the floor again. Like, I get it. That's like, what a nice thing to look forward to for the ladies, right? Just our pendulum balls bouncing off our knees as we stagger toward you with a chemically induced boner. That's horrifying. That's horrifying. And you can't even get away because we can use our elastosac like a lasso and just pull you right back in. No escape. You guys want me to wait on that one too? My wife's smarter than me. That comes across like a shock right now. You guys surprised by that? But she reads a lot. She watches a lot of like regular television, documentaries, History Channel, educational stuff, watches the news, you know. I pretty much watch cartoons and sports. So like sometimes our conversations can get a little weird, you know. We're watching a show the other day and it takes place in Ireland. And one of the scenes had a bunch of wolves in it. And my wife goes, "This is bullshit." And I was like, "What?" She goes, "There haven't been wolves in Ireland since the 1700s. So I felt insecure. I'm like, one more thing that I don't know. So I felt like I had to come back with something, you know what I mean? I was like, Kenny dies in every episode of South Park. I'm like, that's what I've got, that's my comeback, you know what I mean? I'm like, what happens 10 years from now if we keep traveling down this path, right? My wife's like the 5-time Jeopardy champion and I'm sitting in the audience with a coloring book flicking boogers at people. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I need to adult. This shit is embarrassing. I need to read more. So this is happening now in my life. I sit down to pee. I don't even like saying it out loud. I've got friends here and they're just hearing that shit for the first time. So the most embarrassing part is why I sit down to pee. I don't have a disability. I'm not Jimmy. I don't lack the leg strength to stand there for 30 seconds, you know? I'm not in prison with a cellmate who insists that I sit down. I've heard that can happen, you know? The real reason is that I'm terrified of my wife. And she's tiny but fierce, especially when I do gross shit, which according to her is all the time. So she's been on my case for a long time about my aim in the bathroom, you know, especially at night. And I think women in general don't understand how men can make such a mess in the bathroom, right? I think you guys have a problem with it. So I thought I could shed some light on that for you guys. Ladies, you ever use a hose to water a plant or a flower? Right? You can mostly control the water, right? But you do get a little splashing. Fair? Okay. Now, imagine you're dead asleep. Someone wakes you up in the middle of the night and hands you a hose and says, "Go water that plant in the corner, but do it in the dark." What are you gonna do? You do the best job that you can. You know, you're gonna one-eye it, stagger over there, right? Just do the best job that you can. There's gonna be some collateral damage, right? I think that's fair, okay? Now, my wife doesn't wanna hear that because she's the one who cleans the bathroom. So, one day she decides she's going to teach me a lesson. She stops cleaning the bathrooms altogether. I don't know how long that went on. I'm kind of gross, like I said, I barely noticed, but it was long enough that my bathroom turned into a crime scene. And the reason I know it was a crime scene is my wife called me into the bathroom and she's wearing gloves holding a flashlight like a fucking forensics detective. And she starts pointing out evidence to me like we're on CSI Phoenix. She's like, "There's stains on the floor. There were stains on the wall behind the toilet. There were stains on a vanity. It's not even close to the toilet." Evidently, I do cartwheels in the middle of the night when I piss. I had no idea. So instead of getting interrogated again, I just decided to start sitting down. That's what happened. So that's one of the things we don't see eye to eye on. I think when you're married for a while, you have arguments, you have disagreements. My wife doesn't call them arguments anymore. They are open and honest communication about why I'm wrong. The women like that one. Yeah, you can take that one home with you. That's a gift from Uncle Ryan on that one. It's ridiculous. When we do argue, this is pretty funny. Hold on. I think the wine's dehydrating me.
That's good.
When we do argue, we have this really passive-aggressive way of arguing through the dog. Any dog owners in here? Yeah, right. Scottsdale's a town for puppies, so this might be familiar to some of you guys. So I'll hear my wife in the other room complaining about me to our dog, right? And it's just loud enough that I can hear her, but she uses that really cute voice that we use when we're talking to dogs, so it doesn't sound so nasty. But I'll hear something like, "Your daddy is the messiest motherfucker ever. I swear to God, I spent half my life cleaning up after his ass. Maybe he should take mommy out to dinner and show her some appreciation." And this happens so much in my house that I swear to God, my dog knows his role as like the canine counselor. So he rolls out of the kitchen into the living room where I am, looks at me, just waiting for me to pour gasoline on the fire. Which of course I do. Maybe if Daddy got some more blowies around here, Mommy would be going on more dinner dates. And then the dog leaves. He knows what I've done.
Too big for
Welcome to the dog segment of the show. One of the themes you're going to learn from me is that I like dogs more than people by kind of a lot. So, yeah, they're cooler. They're better. So I've got a friend who's not a dog person. Right? The audacity. We'll call him Satan. For this bit, he's Satan. Satan comes to my house, and he's making fun of me for playing with my dog in that cute voice that we all use, right? He just doesn't get it. And he's making fun of me. I didn't like it. I started feeling insecure. But then I started thinking about it. You know what's weirder than talking to your dog in that cute-ass voice that we all use? Talking to your dog in your regular voice. You sound like a psychopath. Where's little chubby butt? Where's little Mr. Bubba Pants? That's way more ridiculous if you do it in your regular voice. You start to sound like Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. Would you walk with me? I'd walk with me. You know what I mean? It's just creepy. Stick with the silly voice. That's the moral of the story. Speaking of silly things that we say to our dogs, here's a true story for you. So my day job is in sales. I work from home. I've got a home office, and most of what I do, quite honestly, is I voice text clients. I can talk really fast. I can't type for shit. Voice texting works well for me. Also, randomly during the day, my dogs love to come into the office and play, which I like, breaks up the day. It's actually a ton of fun. So a couple of weeks ago, I was sending a voice text to a relatively young female doctor. Those details are kind of important. This is called foreshadowing. Finish the voice text. My dog comes into play. I start messing with her for a little while. We're having a blast. I forget about work for a little bit. We're having some fun. A few minutes later, I go back, realize that I haven't sent the text yet, and hit send. Oh, it's going where you think it's going. The trauma that text caused me burned an impression in my brain that I've memorized to share with you guys tonight. The text went pretty close to this. Dear Dr. Green, it was a pleasure speaking with you today. I will look forward to connecting with you the next time that you're in Phoenix. I'm gonna get that butt. I'm gonna get that little girl's butt. You love it when I get that butt, don't you? That shit happened. You don't take back texts. There's no call in Verizon and be like, can I get somebody on the line right now? I've made a terrible mistake. Needless to say, we did not get together when she was in Phoenix next. But she didn't call the police or get me fired, so I'll take it as a win, right? That was pretty damn scary. Let's see. June 1st, officially summer, right? I think, kind of. We're feeling it in Phoenix, right? The heat's coming, right? We're feeling it. You know, here's something kind of funny. The heat isn't the worst part of summer for me, to be perfectly honest. The worst part of summer is that my wife turns into a sunscreen Nazi, right? And like, look, I get it. I'm tall, I'm bald, I'm pretty pasty, bad combo for the desert. Like, I know that, right? I get that. I totally get that. What's that? Somebody heckling me? I'm from Cleveland. We'll take this shit outside. Oh, is it my wife doing it? In that case, I'm sorry, hon. Is she still looking? Is she still looking? Shit. That's my time. Thanks, guys. So like, I'm tall, I'm bald, I'm pasty, bad combo for the sun. I get it, right? So if you saw me on the beach, you would think I was the dude from the movie Powder. If he joined a gym, but that gym had an all-you-can-eat buffet in it. Like, that's my look. I'll own that. You know what I mean? That's fine. I get it, you know? I'm a European mutt, like probably a lot of us, you know what I mean? But I'm only the countries that are shitty in the sun. Like Ireland, England, Germany, right? So I don't tan. My summer goes ghost white, newborn baby pink, fire engine red, shed my skin like a fucking rattlesnake. Repeat. That's like summer for me, right? So because of that, I don't get the sunscreen that you just spray on, the good easy kind, right? I don't even get the sunscreen that you put on like lotion. The sunscreen that I require comes with a fucking paint tray and a roller brush. It's made by Sherwin-Williams, SPF 45 fucking thousand. When my wife is done applying this white paste to me, I look like a pterodactyl shit on me. It's embarrassing. The pterodactyl thing was a stretch. That was a stretch. You guys hung in there pretty well, though, I gotta be honest. So speaking of birds, I have these weird segues. That's how I remember the bits. Speaking of birds, I got a buddy who's got chickens, all right? I didn't know this. Chickens lay an egg every day. Yes. Every day, I didn't know that. That was wild to me. Can you imagine you have a baby every day? No. Every day, like that makes Mormons look lazy. You know? Mormons better hope these chickens don't start putting on little white button-ups and going door to door, because they got the numbers. They got the numbers. You know what I mean? Well, I guess an egg isn't a chicken baby, right? It's more like a potential chicken baby, right? Like if mom doesn't sit on the egg, it's never truly born, which if you think about it, means a chicken abortion is as easy as... I'll wait on that one. That's a good goddamn joke. That is a good goddamn joke. That's the cutest abortion joke you're ever going to hear. It's fine. It's not for everybody. I know someone would like it. So, I was watching this show the other day, and it was about a guy that had two families. Two secret families. You guys ever hear about this shit? Two secret families. The guy has two wives, two sets of kids, two houses, opposite ends of the country. I was fucking blown away by that. Like, what kind of overachieving bullshit is that? Like, I'm over here fucking up my one family, creating future therapy patients. You know? This guy's part-timing his way through two families? Like, are you... Who's married in here? Yeah! Okay. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. I want you to think about every argument, every time she made you nuts, every time she was nagging at you. You got some of those? Oh, yeah. It's kind of a few, right? It's kind of a few, right? Now double it. That's two wives. You wouldn't do that. You just get a hooker like I do, right? Come on, give it up. Yeah, exactly. My wife fucking loves that joke. So, I've been trying to lose weight lately, you know? It's like an uphill battle. I keep trying to lose weight, and weight keeps finding me. It's like I'm involved in some psychotic game of hide and seek, but I'm really shitty at it. You know what I mean? I'm over here like, oh, no way weight's gonna find me in the bar drinking dark beer and eating fried food. And weight's right behind me like, boop, boop, boop. Hey bro, you might wanna try hiding someplace I'm not expecting you to be, like, oh, I don't know, a fucking treadmill, the produce department, try something like that. So I'm losing that game. So then I saw this thing on TV that was like these home healthy delivery meal programs. You guys know what I'm talking about? There's a bunch of these now. You go to a website, you pick out an entire week's worth of food. It's healthy, it comes directly to your door. I'm like, okay, that makes it pretty easy. I think that I can do this. So I ordered a week's worth of food. It got delivered yesterday. That food is fucking gone. This program is not going to work for me either, evidently. I'm convinced at this point, I'm just gonna have to change my fitness goals. Like for men, they always talk about like the V taper, right? It's all about the V. You got the big shoulders, you got the skinny waist, it's all about the V. I say fuck the V. I'm going for a whole new letter. Lowercase b, do you see it? Lowercase b on legs, you see it, you can be honest, you see it? Yeah, mission accomplished, I already feel better about myself. It's all about setting expectations, guys. So the cold plunge thing's gotten pretty fucking popular, hasn't it? Everybody's cold plunge. Everyone I know is cold plunging now, right? I broke down and finally bought a cold plunge pod, or as I like to call it, the where the hell did my wiener go bucket. That water's cold, you guys. That's not called a lukewarm plunge. You know what I mean? I do it in the morning, and every time I start walking towards that thing, my dick starts packing a suitcase like it's trying to get out of an abusive relationship. I told you, if you keep this shit up, I'm leaving. Great for inflammation, terrible for the male ego. Cold plunge pod. That should be their new commercial. I just wrote their marketing for them just now. So I was reading an article about condoms. Don't ask me how I got there. You know how those internet fucking rabbit holes go. I just found myself there. And it was interesting. So mostly condoms are made of latex, right? Some people have to use lambskin because they're allergic to latex. Now, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on condoms. I never wore them. Because of that, I was given penicillin in my 20s like they were Flintstones chewables. My wife has never heard this before. Honey, that was a joke. I never took the penicillin either. But I will say that if there is ever a time when an allergic reaction causes a little extra swelling for you, putting on a condom might be the time. I'm just saying. If I was allergic to latex, I'd wear 3. Shit. Give her the best 90 seconds of her life, you know? What I found most interesting in this article was that a couple hundred years ago, condoms were made of leather. Yeah, see those faces? I don't know who should be more horrified by that, the men or the women, but it's true. You can look it up. I did research for this. Leather. Horrible. Now, all I'm going to say is, guys, the next time that you're complaining about a condom being uncomfortable, just remember, your ancestors were trying to fuck while wearing a catcher's mitt. The original love glove, you know what I mean? You guys are hanging in there with this shit. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you guys. So my most recent obsession has become shows about like the frontier, cowboys, ranchers, settlers and shit. Absolutely love that stuff. But it does make me feel insecure watching a lot of those shows. Nothing will make you feel more inadequate as a man than watching like Yellowstone or 1883 or any of those. You guys watch that shit? Yeah. Super popular, awesome shows. Those were real men, right? Like, you had to have some significant skills back then just to survive, right? You can't build a house, you're fucking homeless. Can't hunt or farm, you're gonna be hungry, right? And I'm not a handy guy. I can't fix or build shit. You know what I mean? I'm a terrible shot. I'm kind of afraid of guns, to be honest. And the closest I come to farming is making a salad at Whole Foods. Not exactly a manly resume. Like, I get that, right? So if you were to drop me into the middle of 1883, I would have had to find some creative ways to survive, right? I know that. Picture a group of cowboys sitting around a campfire. They're drinking whiskey, playing the guitar, singing songs, cooking the rabbit they shot earlier that day, having syphilis, you know, cowboy shit, right? And then there's me, hiding behind a rock in the background. I'm cold, I'm scared, I'm hungry. Hey, you guys, can I have some of the rabbit? I'll suck your dick. And then that's it for me. That's my brand. You know what I mean? You're not shaking that kind of reputation, sucking dick on the range for rabbit meat. That word's going to travel, and it's going to travel fast. You know what I mean? Townsfolk are going to be talking about me, right? Heard you guys just got back in last night. Yeah. Me and the boys had a long trek. Got lonely out there. Luckily for us, we ran into Ryan the dick-sucking cowboy. Yeah, I heard about that. That crazy son of a bitch blew the whole posse for a can of beans. Every time I tell that joke, it makes me want to go to a gun range and get better at this shit. There's got to be a better way for me, you guys. It's a horrifying glimpse into my future if society breaks down. I think I'd be really screwed. My wife was trying to move some boxes in the house the other day, and they were just too heavy for her. She was giving it the old college try. So she comes and gets me, and she's like, hey, these things are heavy. Can you move them? I move them quite easily, I might add. Yeah. Trying to make up for that gay cowboy bit. Get you guys back to neutral on me, you know what I mean? So I move the boxes pretty easily, and she looks at me and she goes, you know, I would like to be in a big man's body for a little while. And I was like, you just want to do the wiener helicopter because you think it's funny. You know what I mean? And she goes, no, seriously, wouldn't you want to be in a woman's body for a little while and see what it's like? Like, are you curious? So I thought about it for a minute. You think men masturbate a lot now? Dude, you put us in a body that's got a Veg built in, it's over. You're not gonna see us for weeks. I'd stop eating, I wouldn't see the sun. I would literally turn into a little gray pasty creature. I would become Schmegel from Lord of the Rings. A month later, you'd just see this pruned hand push open a door, and my bald head come out. Schmegel, what is this process? The Hobbit nerds in here like that one. How was the Schmegel impression? Was that pretty good? Not bad?
Not bad.
I worked on that. You want to hear something funny in my house? Hear me practicing that in a room by myself. You're like, who's the goddamn psychopath in the back of this house? Jesus Christ. All right, I've talked about a bunch of ridiculous shit. Let me take a minute and talk to the ladies for a second.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of goofy man humor. Ladies, on behalf of all straight men, and I don't just mean in this room, I mean in general, I'm gonna speak for all of them and just say, sorry, our bad. You guys really got screwed on the relationship side of this thing, man, you really did. You guys are like these lovely, beautiful, you can applaud for that, it's true. You guys are these lovely, beautiful creatures, right? You're caring, you're sensitive, you're amazing. You set up this home environment that's warm and kind and loving. You grew up with this like fairy tale thought that you're gonna meet Prince Charming and have this happily ever after fairy tale existence, right? And then one day that dream becomes this. And you realize that your Prince Charming is a two-legged farm animal. A messy, stinky, gross farm animal. But ladies, here's the thing. It's not our fault. We don't know. Not until you guys tell us do we even know. We're gross from day one, so we don't know. Boys come out of the room kicking over shit and making messes. It's what we do, right? So we need you guys to tell us this isn't right. Ladies, take yourselves back to an early boyfriend. Hopefully you're not with him now. Probably late teens, maybe 20s. Are you back there? We're gonna walk down nostalgia lane for you guys for a minute, right? He probably lived in an apartment. It smelled like a gym locker. He had a couple of roommates, equally gross.
Yeah, where's it?
Carpet was randomly crusty in places, just from spilled beer and bong water. You know what I mean? Now, definitely a mattress on the floor situation in the bedroom, right? And whatever the sheet comforter thing going on that mattress, good Lord. Good Lord. That was like a linen petri dish, right? Flammable. Burn it. It's a science experiment, right? Here's the thing. If you guys don't come along and tell us that's terrible, we'd still be living like that. We would still be living like that. When we get older, I think women think that we outgrew it. That's not what happens. It's still there. We've just learned that you fucking hate it, so we hide it from you. However, so ridiculous.
I'm in trouble right now.
Every woman in here is like, God damn it, we all dealt with it. I know. Crunchy sheets, it's fucking gross. The reason I know all about it is I was definitely that guy. So, it's still there, you guys. It's still deep down. It's there. We just hide it from you. But it does come back out when you guys leave us alone too long. And I don't just mean that you're gone overnight. Guys can keep it together for like 24, 48 hours or so. After that, shit gets sketchy for us. You see, every man will start to de-evolve if he gets left alone too long. I'm going to paint a little picture of what it's like for me, but this happens to every guy in here. They might not admit it to you. I'm just the guy up here with the microphone. This is what happens. Day one, my wife is leaving and the house is clean and organized. She always does that when she leaves. I think she feels like the house is going to look the same when she gets back. You know why they're laughing, right? No fucking chance of that happening. But it's day one, so I look like a normal dude. I'm standing upright, I'm fully dressed, I'm speaking in coherent sentences. So far, so good. Now by day three, that de-evolution process is starting to set in. Little hunch to my posture. Boxers and socks only. That's the uniform, every guy in here knows.
You're tucked in.
I haven't showered since she left. I haven't turned the fucking light on in 72 hours. If you exclude the glow from the television or the light in the refrigerator because I open that every 5 minutes. I have unidentifiable food in my chest hair. Which only makes sense because I've been using my body as a TV tray while I lay on the couch and watch SportsCenter. I've jerked off 6 times. Not proud of it, it just happens. And even my dog, who spends his entire day licking the area where his balls used to be, is looking at me like, really, bro? Fuck, I'm impressed. Now by day 7, wheels are completely off. I'm running around the house butt naked, dragging my knuckles like a fucking ape. There's random fires in the house now, right? There are symbols written in blood on the wall. I've now jerked off so many times that I've actually lost weight. I can feel you judging me. I can feel you judging me, Scottsdale. And look, I don't want to be a Neanderthal when I get left alone. I want to be a better person. I hear other people trying to be better people. You'll hear someone say something like, I've just been working on myself recently. But let's be honest. The sentence I've been working on myself recently is code for my life is a fucking disaster. Can we agree on that? Is that fair? Is that fair? Yeah, it's true. So I've been working on myself recently. And one of the things I've been working on is I started doing yoga, right? And I started doing that as a way to heal my back from a car accident that I was in. But now I can blow myself. It took a while, if I'm being honest. It took a while to get used to the weird looks I was getting in the class. You know what I mean? They say yoga is supposed to be relaxing, but I'm going to have to disagree. Those people were pissed. A bunch of women built like this. I pissed off a room full of olive oils. That's really what happened. Ladies, let me just leave you with this. Little PSA, little public service announcement from Uncle Ryan. If your husband, if your man starts coming home with Lululemon shorts, you might want to up your blowy game. You thought the hot chick at work was your biggest competition? It's his flexibility. Last time I did that joke, I was at the bar afterwards having a drink, and this guy walks up to me like really nervously. He's like looking around, and he goes, "So just the tip?" I was like, "What?" And he goes, "The yoga thing, bro, like, can you just reach the tip or you can really get after it?" I was like, "What the fuck, dude? Jesus Christ, I don't even do yoga, look at me. I look like I eat people that do yoga." But if you're willing to work that hard to get a dick in your mouth, fucking call me, seriously, Jesus. Thanks a ton, you guys. Successful first comedy night at Aridus. And I'm glad you guys are here. A lot of people couldn't get tickets. We already have a waiting list. I'm already talking with Maria. We're going to do this again. Be on the lookout for dates. Be on the lookout for dates on the website. We'll have some stuff, and I really appreciate it. Enjoy your night, you guys. Thanks for being a great crowd.